Good morning and happy Monday to you. Welcome inside this edition of Fox 11 Sports News at UI7 with Max and Joe. I'm Joe Sargis.
And I'm Max Tane. And Joe, we've got a lot to cover today, so let's hit the ground running with some college basketball. The NCAA rankings will be released later today, and we'll expect to see the usual suspects at the top of the list. Perfect weeks for Indiana, Duke, and Michigan should have the rankings holding form at the top. However, the Blue Devils' string of impressive wins could have them jump the Hoosiers for the #1 spot. Expect to see an ascension in the rankings for the Illinois Fighting Illini, who are now 8-0.
And speaking of the Fighting Illini, they cracked the rankings last week, coming in at number 22. It's just one of the many things to be excited about in Illini Nation. For more on that, here's Max Tane.
There's plenty to be excited about in Assembly Hall this year, as a new season of Illini basketball is underway. However, a lot of the buzz is generated from the new man at the helm of the program, head coach John Groce. At 36 years old, Groce is one of the hottest names in college basketball. It's been quite a whirlwind for him after his arrival to Champaign from Ohio University.
It's amazing to think that the 7 to 8 months have passed by this fast, that it's finally here, and I know my family's excited. My ticket list is indicative of that.
So far this season, his team has responded well, already winning the EA Sports Maui Invitational. Sophomore point guard Tracy Abrams says there is a great bond between the coaches and players.
I mean, the coaches prepared us pretty well with film and scout report, and of course, we trust the coaching staff, and if we follow what they tell us to do, pretty sure we should be successful with it.
The players have bought in, and now it's up to the Illini fans to buy in as well. Rich in basketball and tradition, the Assembly Hall is one of the premier venues in the country, fueled by a raucous student section. Orange Crush President McKinnon Beers saw a drop in numbers this season, but has a message for the students who missed out on a great opportunity.
Come out, give Groce a chance, give this team a chance. I think just come out for a game and then, come and look me in the eye afterwards and tell me you didn't have fun.
Groce, the Illini, and the Orange Crush will have to be on the top of their game this season. The Big Ten Conference had 6 teams ranked in the preseason top 25, 3 of which were in the top 5. Reporting from the Assembly Hall, I'm Max Tane.
And the surprising start to this season is thanks in part to contributions from some unlikely players, one of them being a first-year starter that head coach John Groce raving about his improvement. Fox 11 Sports' Paul Timlin has more.
It's hard for a new coach to come to a team with players that he didn't recruit and he doesn't know, but Coach John Groce was able to identify right away who his hard workers were.
Guys probably stood out the most was Dana Edwood. Dana made 23,000 shots on his own this summer. You'll see him in early in the morning. Sometimes I'll even ask him if he wants the lights on in the oven. He's shooting in the dark, and he loves the game. He can't get enough of it.
Hearing this amount of praise from the head coach gave Egwu the confidence he needed going into this season. The relationship between coach and the man in the middle is almost like a father and son. Groce told his starting center exactly what he wanted from him this season on the first day of practice.
I like the improvement I made, and he liked the hard work I put in, so he definitely encouraged me to continue to get better and continue to work on my game.
The young coach and the young center are working to learn from each other. As they spend more time together, Egwu's trust in Groce increases.
He's definitely grown since he's been here. You see how enthused he is to be here, and he really wants this room to grow and get better. So you just buy into all that.
With players graduating and moving on to the next level, opportunity for increased playing time became available for Egwu. The expanded floor time would normally scare an underclassman player, but Coach Groce gives his sophomore center the encouragement he needs to be successful.
Because you're the guy, you're the one starting, so you just have to come out there and do what you got to do. You don't got to worry about making something special. Go out there and do what you actually do your role, and it'll be all good.
And Egwu is doing just that. His length and height strengthens Illinois' interior defense and rebounding. He's a large part of the reason why Illinois is second in the conference in defensive rebounding and third in block shots. If this production continues, Illinois has a chance to accomplish a lot more than what many predicted they would in what was considered to be a lost season.
Obviously, the main goal is to make the SA tournament and compete for the Big Ten title. But as long as we continue to play hard, we get together and play tough, I think those goals are definitely possible.
Reporting from Champaign-Urbana, I'm Paul Timlin.
Thanks, Paul. Coming up after the break, NHL labor talks continue. With more than half the season and the Winter Classic already canceled, federal mediators say the chances of hockey coming back this season looks bleak. Stay tuned.
At the GED Pep Talk Center, we have pep talkers standing by to get you motivated for your GED diploma. Text the name Terry to 69222 for a sympathetic pep talk.
You show people what you really are.
Or for a gentle pep talk, text the name Deborah.
You know you're going to make people very proud of you.
And if that's not enough, text the name Danny for an extreme pep talk.
Prove everyone wrong. Show them you're the boss.
Get your GED pep talk and find free GED classes. Text the name of the person you want a pep talk from to 69222.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Welcome back to the show. The NHL lockout has hit a wall. Since the league's collective bargaining agreement expired September 15th, the two sides are not getting any closer to an agreement. Commissioner Gary Bettman and team owners declared the lockout of the members of the National Hockey League Players Association after a new agreement could not be reached before the deadline. After 3 months of multiple failed attempts, federal mediators were brought into the discussions last week, still yielding no results. The mediators informed the parties that they did not think it was productive to continue the discussions any further. With the NHL on lockout, the future of hockey may look bleak, but Fox 11 sports reporter Harini Christian has a story that might change your mind.
Thanks, Joe. It is day 79 of the lockout here, and hockey fans are getting anxious. Understandably so. What was supposed to end mid-October is still dragging on. But this isn't necessarily bad news for the entire hockey world. The Danville Dashers, a local Federal Hockey League single-A team, has been reaping quite the benefits.
Well, it's funny, you know, people never miss anything until it's gone. And we're starting to see that now, and we're also starting to see that this town does get behind a winning team.
Dasher center Ryan Stern says that one of the bigger impacts on the league is the downflow of talent from players misplaced by the lockout.
Well, this year with the lockout, there's definitely a lot more skill in the league. There's a lot of good offensive players, and some of the games get to be pretty high scoring.
In addition to the influx of more talent tripping back down to the minors, Captain Chris Affinati says more fans are drawn to the games to fill the space the lockout has left them with. He says especially in a town with as much of a hockey background as Danville, fans are more eager than ever to get in their hockey fix.
Danville's got a long history of hockey. They were, again, in the 80s, they had the Danville Dashers. And they were a very popular team, and now the Dashers are back. Things are moving in the right direction. We're getting a lot more support, and you know, it's always nice to go into a place where you don't really have to start over, start new. You know, it's had hockey before, and we're just trying to get the old fans back in the building.
Being in this town, I mean, it's a humbling effect because all you can do is concentrate on hockey. You know, and it was a great feeling to walk into a junior building with pro atmosphere and have these fans of Danville embrace you as a hockey player.
Schweier says that what really sets the FHL apart is a level of determination and fight on the ice.
The biggest thing is that you're going to see a level of competitiveness that rivals the NHL for you know, their willingness and desire to not be at this level forever. Each night you're going to see a battle of guys trying to take other people's jobs, and just the absolute love of the game, because I mean, they're chasing their dreams and their goals. You know, after all, we are getting paid to do something that we love, and chasing the NHL dream is the goal here.
You know, you're on the bus for hours at a time. We battle through a lot of adversity. You know, I've been driving the bus, you know, driving to one of the games, so it's you know, there's a lot of adversity we have to face, but we still do it every day, and it's not for the paycheck, it's for the love of the game. And I think that's what people, you know, with all this stuff going on, they realize that you know, you can come watch great hockey with guys battling, doing whatever they need to do to just play the game. Once you come in that door and watch one of our games, you're going to be pleasantly surprised and really enjoy yourself. So all I can say is just come out and support us, and we'll give you a show out there.
Thanks, Harini. Whole lot of good stuff there. Now, players still have the option of taking this to court and disbanding the Players Union. If they were to do so, the chances that the season would begin sooner rather than later.
After the break, find out which University of Illinois team has national championship aspirations.
And a slew of NFL highlights from the weekend that you won't want to miss. Stay tuned.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all working with United Way for a million little reasons. The kids of our communities, to ensure their academic success all the way to graduation day. You see, it takes about 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a kid becoming one or the other could be a professional athlete, or it could be you. Studies showed the earlier we get to kids, the better their chances. So become a United Way volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, and make a difference in the life of a child, for the life of that child.
Give. Advocate.
Volunteer. Live united. Join your favorite NFL players. Take the pledge. Go to unitedway.org.
Welcome back. For most college sports teams, it wouldn't seem reasonable to expect to be in the national championship every year. But for one University of Illinois team, this is the expectation every season. Joe Sargis has more.
Game of basketball. One team tries to score more points than the other by getting the ball in the basket. But this isn't your ordinary basketball. This is the University of Illinois men's wheelchair basketball team. A hidden gem on Champaign-Urbana's campus, this team went to the national championship game last year, and in sophomore forward Mac Nong's words, they have no intentions of slowing down.
This team tries hard. You know, we always go hard out here. We're out here every morning, and we're striving for our goal, and that's to win a national championship.
Even though this team has aspirations of winning a national championship, Coach will tell you that winning isn't everything, as long as his players are growing as people.
It's not just about athletics. It's not even about athletics and academics. It's about athletics, academics, and their personal growth.
A major part of having a team that grows together is having players that build friendships with teammates. And as former standout of this team and current assistant coach Brian Bell says, this team is inseparable.
We do a lot of things together off the court. We try to hang out as much as possible. Like Sunday nights, we watch football together. We go to events like concerts and basketball games here to support the other Illini teams, stuff like that.
The season is already underway as the Illini wheelchair basketball program tries to head its way to winning its 30th national championship overall. Joe Sargis, UI7 News.
Now, Joe, you know what I love about my Sundays?
What's that, Max?
Just sitting on the couch and watching some good old football.
Well, then I've got just a thing for you. We've got a flurry of highlights from the NFL action. We begin at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Brady Quinn threw 2 touchdown passes, the first to Moriarty, and Kansas City goes up 17-14, and then to Jonathan Baldwin as Kansas City routes their way to their second win of the season, 27-21, after the tragic death of middle linebacker Javon Belcher.
Definitely some good stuff for Kansas City. Now let's go to the big crab cake as Charlie Batch finds his tight end Heath Miller, who crosses the pylon to tie the game for the Steelers at 20, which would lead to the game-winning field goal kick by Sean Sweezum as time expires. Pittsburgh with a huge win on the road over Baltimore to keep their wild card hopes alive in the playoffs. Charlie Batch, Mike Tomlin, embrace it, you two. That was a big win. Tony Romo scrambles and finds Des Bryant, who's scrambling his way to the end zone before he has to be home in time for curfew at midnight. Cowboys get a much-needed win over the rival Eagles, who have now lost 8 straight.
And Peyton Manning finds Demaryius Thomas for a touchdown. He just passed Dan Marino for second all-time in career touchdown passes.
This is your classic Jets highlight. Mark Sanchez drops back, and he's going to throw an INT to the Cardinal defense, and that'll be all Rex Ryan would have to see. Hang up the helmet, son. In comes Greg McElroy. Roll Tide for the 6th-round pick. Comes in, a play-action pass on the 1-yard line, and who does he find? None other than former Illini Jeff Cumberland. Oski Wow. That was the only touchdown of the game. Jets beat the Cardinals in a barn burner by a final score of 7-6. 7-6. What a score.
Oh, yeah, that's a real high-scoring affair. Really exciting game, huh?
Definitely the game I'd certainly want to be watching. But that will do it for us here at Fox Sports 11, here at UI7. For Joe Sargis, I'm Max Tane, signing off, and we will see you next time.